Hi guys, today we'll be doing a review on the AVTECH AVN80X megapixel IVS IP camera. This is a multi-purpose IP camera designed for home use. It can also be used in the office and in many situations. Here we're having this up, we've got the camera under here. This is the camera unit. We've got the LED light, the PIR sensor, speaker, microphone, status LEDs, focus ring, and obviously the sensor. And come to the back, we've got Ethernet connection, power, and I/O ports for alarm connections. We also have the mounting bracket. Just go ahead and set this up quickly. So we've got the main mounting pin, the mount to connect to the camera, and the base. This is quite simple, just screws into the base. This then screws in to the top of that. Nice and tight. This little plastic ring sits on the bolt. And then it's a matter of just screwing it in to the rear of the camera. And that's nice and tight now. We can just undo this little thumb screw, turn it around, aim it, can even go upside down so you can screw it to the roofs or maybe at the side of a wall. Whatever really, you can go in any direction. And we'll tighten that up. So there's the main camera unit. We've also got the screws and wall plugs for the mounting bracket. There's 3 screw holes. And the power adapter. And since I live in Australia, and a little Australian adapter, which simply plugs in. This is a low voltage adapter, 5 volts, 2 amps, low power camera. So the first step to setting up the camera is to set it up like this. Plug the unit into an appropriate power supply, which I've just done. Come over to the camera. Simply plug power into the back, and it uses an Ethernet connection. Plug in the Ethernet connection. And we'll be given these 2 blue status lights saying, oh, here we go, now it's trying to connect. These 2 status lights will go solid blue, indicating it's got an internet connection that's actually connected to the internet. And there we go. So now, once we set up the camera via web browser, we'll be able to find out settings and set it to how we want. Also in the side features the SD card slot. It takes a micro SD card, which it does not come with, but anything from a couple of gigabytes anyway up to 64 gigabytes you can buy these in. Really good to get one because it enables the full function of the camera, such as recording and recorded playback. And we'll just slot that back in. Here we have the online setup of the AVTECH AVN80X IP camera. To find the IP address the camera is first assigned with, you can go into your modem and have a look at the recently assigned addresses, or perhaps do a network scan, or in the instruction manual it will actually tell you how to find it. I've already set this camera up, so I've already changed the IP address, and I'll go into that further on. So if we hit next, we go into changing username and password, which I suggest you do. Next again, edit your date and time settings. Next again, and here, which is where I've changed the static IP address to my custom server IP and port. You also do dynamic DNS settings, which I don't need to do. Maybe take note of the MAC address because you might need this when setting this up against your modem. So if we go next, we can change things such as frame rates, quality, resolution when you first open the camera. Also take note to change the ADSL upload speed of your connection appropriately so the camera knows how much data it can push out. Also change your environment appropriately. Hit next, and obviously I haven't made any configurations, so nothing's been changed. Hit close and we'll be presented with the camera. It's just asked me for my username and password in a different window outside this recording. So I've just plugged those in. And now we'll be bringing up with a live view of the camera, which is simply the box at the minute. I'll just throw my hand into the frame, and there we go, you can see it. From here we can control the LED light, recordings, alarms, computer microphone and the computer speakers for complete two-way audio, and change quality and things like that. If we head over to the digital pan, tilt, zoom function, we've got full control of the camera's functions here. I won't go through that now because I've already done it in the iPhone application review. But here we've got full control of that. Head over to the configuration. We've got loads more options than the original wizard. Loads of things, so we can change the camera settings. If we go to the micro SD card, we've got details about that. Push notifications, trigger, server logs, accounts, general. Many things. In the trigger we can change the detection area in Windows, so Internet Explorer only. Unfortunate for Mac users, but I'm sure you can find Internet Explorer running somewhere. We can make the LED come on at certain times, change camera colors, send emails, upload FTP service. This camera has a multitude of functions, very well thought out by AVTECH, and it's a great way to configure the camera just the way you like it. If we head back over to the live view, we're back over to the camera. Again, it's asking for a username and password for security. Enter that in. And we're buffering up the frame now. And there's the camera. Now online setup is pretty much done. And now you can go into your Eagle Eyes applications on iPhones and other operating systems and set up the camera appropriately. Now I'll be reviewing the AVTECH Eagle Eyes application, which has been downloaded from the Apple App Store. Here's the main start screen application with my previously loaded cameras. Here we have the AVN80X, which is this review camera which I'm doing. Here we've got the ability to add, edit, delete, playback camera functions, things like that. On and off toggles for push notifications and general settings. Now if we go into the camera, we're loading a direct feed from the camera featured right here. As you can see, there's a slight delay, but nothing worth worrying about. We've got the info pane, which shows things like online user, frame rates, quality, resolution. We've also got the settings tab, which allows us to edit some of the settings, not all of them, not all the ones coming from a web browser, but these are the major ones you'll need on the go. Network, audio, memory, trigger, and general. Now if we go into memory, we've got the micro SD card I was talking about before, with its current capacity, things like that. Down here we've got a series of functions. Here we have the digital pan, tilt, zoom function, which I'll go ahead and enable. And this gives us the ability to zoom in, zoom out. Oops. Gives us the ability to zoom in and out like so, and we can move around the camera. We've got these plus and minus buttons to zoom all the way out. As you can see, the quality is quite good as it's reading from this box, and if we turn it off, we'll return straight back to the widescreen view. This button enables and disables the live recording. We've also got the ability to turn on the iPhone microphone, so our voice is transmitted through the iPhone and out through the camera speaker. And I'll test this now by speaking to the unit, and the delay you should hear is actually coming straight out of this camera. Test. That delay you heard was my voice being inputted into the iPhone and coming through the camera's speaker. This is volume control from listening from the camera's microphone to the iPhone, which gives us full two-way audio communication. We've got the ability to turn on the inbuilt LED, as you can see, which works quite well at night, and the AVTECH camera's got a quite good sensor, so it picks up a lot of detail at night. These functions go together with the digital pan tilt zoom, and here we have the alarm button, which is used to fend off intruders, which sends off the LED in an audible tone. And we'll demo this now. And the aim of that is to fend off intruders. We can also go into landscape mode, which gives us a better view of the camera. I'm now going to demo the AVTECH Eagle Eyes push notifications on iPhone. Here we have me setting off the camera, which is in the background of the photo, and the phone will be instantly alerted with a notification. If we head into application now, it will instantly play back what just happened, and as we can see, I've got myself walking through the corridor and the camera's playing back what just happened. From here we can do stuff such as rewind, fast forward, pause, etc. And now we'll return to the live view of the camera. As you can see, there's a slight delay, but it's minimal and the camera still works great. Here we have the AVTECH video viewer for Mac, which can be downloaded from the Eagle Eyes website. Here we have the AVN80X IP camera, which I've already added to the program. Down here we can edit, delete, and view the camera, and they use the current live feed straight from the camera. Down the bottom we've got the date, and up here we have full screen modes, split modes. In the split modes you can add multiple other camera feeds, so you can view multiple cameras in a single window. But we'll go back to one-to-one. If we head over here, this is the camera, and if we head over to the live panel, we've got a few options, such as turning the LED on and off. Now it's off, and turn it back on. This sets off the alarm function, and here we have the digital pan tilt zoom features, and all these buttons are now enabled to the left, and from here we can zoom in and navigate our way around the frame as desired. This is a great function for viewing in and getting detail, and then we can also use these buttons to zoom in and out. If you turn off the function, it automatically returns to the full view. If we go to playback and click the play checkbox, we instantly view all the recorded videos onto the microSD card and what triggered them, such as the PIR or a manual recording through the iPhone application or the web browser. There's only one channel, obviously, because it's a one-channel camera. We've also got the date and timestamps. Now, it's quite simple to play back a movie, and it downloads straight onto your computer. We can also filter the channels out, so if we don't want to see our manual recordings, we simply deselect and refresh, and now we've got just the PIR recordings. Now if we go back and go to this recording, and we'll download it, and it'll instantly play back the recording, which is me before, in front of the camera with my cat being annoying, and me moving my cat. This has been recorded onto the micro SD card of the camera, and now back to the live view. Here ends the review of the AVTECH AVN80X IP camera. It's a great little unit for the price, and I would highly recommend it to anybody looking to get monitoring into their home. It's great from home users to businesses to even corporate situations. I myself will continue to use this camera for surveillance in my home, and I highly suggest you get one too.